Suddenly people start waking up in a strange hall while everyone complains about having a massive headache. Opening his eyes, the protagonist feels really confused because the area is way too noisy for him. Looking around the massive white room, it seems like hundreds of people are trapped in the same place. Realizing the situation, the young man looks completely shocked while cold sweat starts dripping down his face. Standing up, he wonders if this is just a dream or if he actually got kidnapped by some weird group. Holding his head in pain, the youth feels a sharp sting and tries to remember how he ended up there. Immediately a memory about a mysterious letter flashes through his mind and he finally starts to understand. Back in the real world we meet Xiao Lin, who is just a normal graduate trying to survive on his own. Working as a professional gamer, he spends his days power leveling and receiving praise from other players. Achieving another victory, the screen glows bright purple as he completes one more difficult mission. Stretching his arms, the gamer celebrates finishing his work while sitting in his messy and dark room. Relaxing on his bed, he eats a snack and scrolls through his phone to see what is happening online. Clicking on a bizarre post, the person finds something very unusual that catches his attention right away. Remembering his angry father calling him a loser, the kid felt motivated to prove his worth to everyone. Noticing something weird near the door, the hero realizes that his life is about to change forever. A strange delivery man appears at night to hand a mysterious letter to a young guy named Xiao Lin. Opening the dark envelope carefully, the boy gets surprised when a weird blue light starts to glow from inside. Suddenly a magical circle appears on the floor and teleports him to a completely different place against his will. Looking around, the teenager wonders if this is just a prank since everything feels so creepy and bizarre. Waking up on the floor, he hears an annoying voice asking if he finally decided to stop sleeping. Standing over him, a tall man complains that the kid was knocked out for 3 whole hours like he was hibernating. Many other confused people around start shouting that they want to go home or they will call the police. Hearing the constant noise, the tall instructor just makes a frustrated sound because he hates all the complaining. Drawing a massive sword, he starts to gather a terrifying purple energy that glows around his entire body. With one single swing, the man creates a huge shockwave that almost hits the crowd and leaves everyone silent. Pointing his finger at the group, the warrior tells them to shut up because he is tired of hearing their screams. Among the scared crowd, the protagonist stands silently while the instructor wonders why every new class has idiots. Rubbing his head, the man says he will keep things short since someone woke up late and wasted their time. Staring back at the teacher, the main character tries to process what kind of crazy situation he just entered. Explaining their new reality, the advisor says they are in first year class 7 and can gain power or even immortality. Facing the yelling crowd, the girl stays quiet while the guys behind her look completely lost and confused. Walking forward with a serious face, the tough man tells everyone to grab their IDs and prepare for the evaluation. Looking at the group, the young man realizes there are at least 200 people here, which makes him feel very uneasy. Standing inside the blue light, the boy wonders if this world works like a game where he can see his own stats. Checking the screen, the examiner sees a total value of 24 and tells the loser to move along. Pumping his fist in the air, another guy celebrates his score of 32 points while feeling like a winner. Watching the crying girl leave, the guard complains that the school is recruiting people from a garbage dump. Still waiting inside the machine, the dark-haired teen hears everyone shouting for the next person to step up. Sweating a bit, the protagonist notices everyone else finished in seconds, but he has been there for a full minute. Smirking to himself, the guard thinks he might have found a hidden treasure because the scan is taking so long. Flashing on the screen, the word complete finally appears as the boy lets out a sigh of relief. Calling out to the kid, the man demands to see the data since he expects something amazing to happen. Widening his eyes in total shock, the examiner stares at the monitor as if he cannot believe what he sees. Displaying the stats, the screen shows that Xiao Lin only has 2 points in almost every single category. Making a disgusted face, the boss yells that the total is only 9 points, which is a complete disaster. Screaming in shock, the man yells that he has never seen such garbage stats since joining the academy. Pointing out the single-digit numbers, the instructor calls the boy a piece of deadweight while the kid just wants to go home. Sighing with deep disappointment, the leader complains that he wasted his high expectations on someone so weak. Walking away while checking his notes, the expert calls the kid truly useless as the student stands alone in the shadows. Ghostly faces appear in his mind as the boy remembers everyone always calling him trash throughout his whole life. Gritting his teeth with glowing eyes, the student gets angry because even in this hell he cannot escape that insult. Holding up a golden plate, the instructor says the test is suicide and giving him the identification is a total waste. Moving with sudden speed, the boy reaches out and snatches the plate right from the hand of the surprised teacher. Standing tall, the teen declares that numbers do not decide his worth and he is going to try the exam for himself. Smirking at the kid's confidence, the man tells him not to cry when reality hits him hard during the upcoming challenge. Curiously, a girl asks what he meant by a gifted student as she watches the tense interaction from the side. Looking down on them, the instructor explains that those lucky ones are born with power and are destined to be the strongest. Listening to the explanation, the other students look worried because they just want to survive the first entrance exam. Approaching the leader, a tall woman reminds him that he promised they could find great wealth and power in the school. Adjusting her glasses, the woman asks what price they must pay for that power since she wants to know the true cost. Starting things off, Qin Chuan mentions that the girl has high stats but no skills while explaining the currency. Nodding her head silently, the young lady confirms that she understands the rules of this strange new world. Watching from behind, the protagonist is shocked that such a refined girl is actually the strongest person in the group. Raising a finger, the instructor explains that everyone can check their status by simply thinking about it. Holding the golden card tightly, the main character prepares to see his own stats for the very first time. Looking at the screen, our hero gets scared because his attributes are weak and dying takes 10 years of his life. While panic spreads through the room, students realize their life is short since some only have 9 years left to live. Suddenly a strange sound rings in his ears while his eyes glow with a mysterious and bright light. Appearing out of nowhere, the system announces that a fluctuation was detected and a hidden talent is finally unlocking. Standing in shock, this guy wonders how a loser like him could possibly obtain such a rare and powerful skill. After glancing around the room, he realizes that nobody else seems to hear the voice or notice the system screen. Reading the details, he sees that he can learn things instantly and even copy simple skills from other people. Thinking deeply about a name, the hero decides to keep things simple for his new and special power. Raising his hand with confidence, he names the skill top student as the system begins the final rank evaluation. Surging with purple energy, Xiao Lin discovers his new talent is rank SS, which means he is now totally broken. Looking closely, the scanner fails to find any top students among the group, which makes the teacher quite angry. Secretly, a mysterious SS rank talent appears on the screen as the young man smiles while hiding his power. Glowing with a purple aura, the protagonist realizes this special ability might be exactly what saves his life later. Nervous and sweating, the student complains that having only 9 years left seems like a total bug in the system. Suddenly, the instructor smacks him on the head while yelling for the boy to actually start using his brain for once. Explaining the rules, the superior says that losing all years means instant death, but they actually hit the jackpot. While the group listens, they learn that life here is a resource used to buy items or get much stronger through missions. Confused by the logic, the teenager scratches his head because the whole situation feels way too strange to believe. Showing off a vision of power and wealth, the teacher claims this academy is a ladder to change their entire fate. Pointing toward a glowing figure, the warrior mentions that even immortality is possible if they earn enough credits. Adjusting her glasses, a smart girl asks if these magical rules work only inside the school or in the outside world. Turning around, the leader confirms the law stays active as long as they are on Earth and remain part of the academy. Ending the talk, the instructor shouts that the entrance test is starting right now and they should get ready. Raising his hand high, the commander says everyone should stay in their spots without moving even a single inch. Above them, the screen announces that teleportation is being prepared and the final countdown begins immediately. Looking at the third group, we see a girl with glasses standing out among a crowd of students. While standing in the second line, the protagonist keeps a serious face and waits for his turn. Suddenly, a massive purple energy explodes inside the hall and signals the start of the first stage. Watching the room, a disappointed instructor complains that no gifted students appeared in this batch. Feeling frustrated, the man rubs his head and wonders why he has such terrible luck today. Hearing a loud laugh from behind, the teacher turns around and sees someone approaching him. Slowly, a buff guy named Old Chin walks over while smoking a cigar and looking very confident. Boasting about his group, the muscular man says he got 2 students with high ranks already. Grabbing his friend, the smoker mentions a genius with 40 points, but the other guy disagrees. Pushing the hand away, the instructor claims that S talents are just fake rumors anyway. Deep inside a scary goblin nest, the students find a dark cave filled with a disgusting smell. Covering his nose, the main character feels the stench and wonders what kind of place this is. Right away, a blue holographic screen appears in front of him and shows a new notification. Reading the message, the boy sees an entrance test quest where he must kill 5 goblins to win. Finally, a special starter pack box pops up and offers him 1 random weapon for the trial. A friendly reminder appears on the screen saying that there is no death penalty for the upcoming test. Hearing the good news that their lifespan will not be taken away makes the group celebrate with joy. Tapping on the gift box icon, the young man receives a beginner staff and unlocks a new mastery skill. Observing the magical weapon, he notices that the system works exactly like the video games he loves to play. Looking closely at the screen, the protagonist starts planning his next move with a serious expression. Quickly, the boy slams the magical item onto the ground while a dark purple energy starts to glow. With a massive strike, the hero releases a powerful burst of magic that impacts the floor beneath him. Creating a small crater on the stone surface, the attack leaves behind some smoke and several cracks. Even though he lacks enough mana for a real spell, simply using the tool provides 2 experience points. Thanks to his special passive talent called Top Student, the teen will level up twice as fast as everyone else. Feeling a sharp pain in his head, the main character groans while holding his ear in agony. Realizing his stats are too low, the fighter sees that his small mana bar prevents him from casting more spells. While a nearby warrior celebrates gaining 1 experience point, the student thinks about staying here to grind. Watching the others train, the boy understands that the quest time limit exists to stop people from resting too long. Thinking about the best strategy, the protagonist decides to find a physical weapon to maximize his leveling advantage. One approaching her classmate, the girl with glasses, asks if he wants to trade weapons to find something more suitable. 2 explaining the cost of magic, she mentions that spells are probably linked to the intelligence stat they saw earlier. 3 realizing the staff does not fit him, the boy thinks the blade is much better suited for her style and skills. For introducing himself as Shaolin, he confirms her name is Gu Xiaoye while flashing a friendly and calm smile. 5 agreeing with his logic, the young woman asks if he is truly willing to make the trade right now in this place. 6 handing over the wooden staff, he warns her that she needs great aim to hit any target when using that tool. 7 receiving a level 1 dagger, the protagonist feels much better holding a blade instead of a magic stick. 8 thinking about the upcoming challenge, the boy realizes that finding a teammate is the best way to pass easily. 9 looking back at her, he prepares to ask the girl if she would like to join forces and work together as a team. 10 suddenly a huge guy interrupts their talk and asks the pretty girl to team up with him for the next task. 11 bragging about his power, the big man claims his physical stats are all over 10 points, which makes him strong. 12 pointing at the protagonist, he says that he provides more security than a pretty boy and guarantees a victory. 13 staring coldly through her glasses, the girl remains completely silent and does not seem impressed by his words. 14 hearing the laughter of the people nearby, the giant feels humiliated because he was just rejected so easily. 15 turning his head in anger, the muscular guy fumes with rage as his face turns red from the total embarrassment. Facing the newcomer, the main character is met with a very hostile look from a much bigger guy. Suddenly the large man shouts, asking why he is being watched so closely while looking quite angry. Hurling insults, the bully calls him total trash and wonders if the kid even knows how to use a weapon. Maintaining his cool, the young man suggests that everyone should just focus on the mission instead of fighting. Losing his temper, the thug grabs the boy by his shirt and promises to show him a real lesson in power. Seeing the threat, the protagonist just smiles like he knows something the other guy does not see yet. Looking directly at his attacker, the boy claims that the big guy will not actually get a chance to fight. Dropping from the sky, a green monster appears right behind the bully, who looks completely surprised by the ambush. Slashing quickly, the creature leaves a mark on the man as he struggles to react to the fast attack. Clutching his wounded face, the man screams in pain while realizing he messed up by ignoring his surroundings. Lunging forward again, the goblin tries to finish the job while the warrior is still distracted by the sting. Swinging his heavy sword, the fighter manages to strike the beast with a powerful blow to save his own life. Breathing heavily, the muscular man stands over the fallen enemy and realizes he almost lost everything right there. Pointing his finger, the angry warrior asks if the kid is laughing at him because of that messy encounter. Turning around, the group realizes that dozens of glowing eyes are watching them from the dark forest nearby. Deep in the woods, many green monsters wait to attack the humans nearby. Suddenly everyone starts to scream in pure terror as they see the creatures approaching. Even though they try to run, the students cannot easily escape the sharp claws. While falling to the ground, a boy gets badly hurt as blue squares appear on his skin. Across the entire battlefield, more people are being defeated by the green horde. Holding his weapon tightly, the dark-haired protagonist realizes this is actually real. After swinging his blade, he manages to hit an attacker while feeling the foul scent. With a magical staff in hand, a girl prepares to defend herself against the danger. Because of the liquid on his face, the young man understands that every touch is true. Since he sees the chaos, he thinks he was too naive to treat this like a simple game. When a survivor points at the mountain, he shouts that the enemies avoid the cave. Quickly rushing toward the entrance, the terrified crowd tries to find a hideout. Despite the temporary safety, the main character knows this peace will not last long. On the glowing screen, a timer shows 29 minutes and 38 seconds. To stay alive, the warrior grips his sword and tries to analyze the whole situation. Determined to survive, the boy refuses to just sit around while waiting for the end to come. Swinging his weapon causes the system to notify him that his sword skills are slowly improving. Looking at his weak stats, the warrior realizes he must master this blade to have any chance at survival. Suddenly the screen shows the magic protection will vanish in less than 3 minutes, which scares everyone. Desperate survivors complain that the enemies are too fast and their bows are completely useless. Sitting nearby, a smart-looking girl watches the chaos while staying calm in the dark cave. While she observes, the teenager continues to practice his strikes against the air without stopping. Sweat drips down his face as he struggles to keep breathing after so much physical effort. Walking over to him, the lady explains that training like this is a waste of time due to the slow progress. Staring at her, the fighter is impressed by her logic and ability to calculate everything so quickly. She adds that reaching the second level should normally take at least an hour of constant work. Smirking, the protagonist feels confident because his special student buff makes him learn much faster. The floating window confirms he is almost at level 2 since he only needs a few more points. Thanking her for the advice, the young man asks if she noticed anything useful about the monsters nearby. The intellectual girl is shocked that he actually knew she was watching him the whole time. Comparing the situation to a video game, the boy says it is wise to check the guide before fighting a monster. Looking closely at the enemies, the protagonist notes their weak defense and points out their vitals are the head and heart. Observing the surrounding students, he notices that the mission is simple but everyone is too scared to move. Trembling on the floor, the archer hears him say that losing your courage means losing the entire battle. Walking toward the exit, the duo sees only 2 minutes of protection left and decides it is time to leave the cave. Suddenly a large man blocks their path and angrily asks where they think they are going. Pointing at the hero, the brute suggests the girl should join his team because the weak boy will only get them killed. Staring back at him, the companion mentions that reaching the end is easy and the real prize is defeating the powerful boss. Shouting in her face, the bully claims the king is optional and they might not even survive the regular monsters. Stepping forward, the young man explains that every quest has a trigger like the number of survivors or enemies killed. Analyzing the rules, the expert decides that time and survivors are not the key, so the kill count must be the answer. With a confident look, the student guesses the boss will appear once they clear a specific amount of the small monsters. Concerned about the danger, the archer girl asks why they should risk everything for a boss instead of just finishing. Explaining the logic, the boy says there is no penalty for losing this test and leaving now would be a total waste. Reaching for his weapon, he tells them they won't actually die, so it is better to go all out and get more points. Agreeing with the plan, the survivors decide to leave the cave before things get even more dangerous. Suddenly a muscular man screams at the boy and brags about having 32 points in his attributes. Stepping forward, a girl with glasses mocks him and the big guy gets angry, asking how strong she actually is. Adjusting her glasses calmly, the woman reveals that her total power reaches 46. Directing her staff at the bully, she tells him to be quiet so they can finally move on. Looking nervous, the man realizes he is outmatched while holding a glowing purple stone in his hand. Wide-eyed, the main character feels shocked because her strength is more than 5 times higher than his own. Taking command of the group, she says they must unite to finish the mission and earn the rewards. Ordering the strong man to the front, she tells him to lure the monsters because of his physical build. Turning to the archers, the leader explains they should stay back and protect everyone with long-range attacks. Shifting her gaze, she looks at the protagonist to decide what his role will be in this battle. Smiling confidently, the young man offers to take down any weakened enemies that try to escape the fight. Knowing his limits, he understands that head-on combat is a bad idea since his numbers are too low. Screaming loudly, the big guy charges at the green goblins with a massive blade to start the slaughter. Aiming their weapons, the archers prepare to fire arrows to support the front line from a safe distance. The scene opens with several green monsters roaring as they charge forward to start a fight. An archer girl gets startled while a creature jumps at her to cause some serious trouble. Luckily, our main guy appears with his sword ready to strike down the enemy before it hits. With one quick swing, he takes out the first monster and a system message counts the kill. While the girl says thanks, the hero thinks about saving energy by only taking the final blow. Moving fast, the fighter slices through another beast as his kill count continues to go up. This warrior doesn't stop and easily drops a third target while keeping his cool in battle. After a fourth monster falls, it becomes clear that this trainee is much faster than the rest. Nearby, some guys watch the fight and one complains that the hero is just stealing all the points. A girl with glasses disagrees because she sees how the swordsman predicts every move they make. Wiping away some sweat, the protagonist sees a screen showing his sword skill has reached level 2. He remembers playing virtual games for months, so that explains why his timing is so perfect now. A glowing blue window pops up in front of the boy to give him some really good news. Since he was the first to level up, the system rewards him with a brand new heavy slash skill. Feeling great, the teen realizes he only needs one more victory to finish his very first quest. Standing tall, the hero watches the fallen monster as blue light shines from the ground. Delivering the final blow, the young man finishes his mission while the system screen says he killed 5 of them. Resting the blade on his shoulder, the fighter feels relieved that the first task is finally over. Nearby, another warrior gets confused when he sees the bodies starting to glitch and disappear into thin air. Screaming out in shock, the buff guy wants to know what is happening as the strange noise fills the area. A message appears stating the population dropped by 1/3, which triggered a hidden boss to wake up. Birds fly away in fear as a massive shadow begins to rise from the deep forest ahead of them. Towering over everyone, the mighty Goblin King shows up while the main boy prepares for the biggest fight yet.